Hello guys, my name is Alex Gomez from EC3D, and today's video we are going to be sculpting this design from MEZAMERO. So let's get to it, guys. I'm going to move my reference to the side so I can see what I'm doing. I'm going to start with a DynaMesh sphere, and I'm going to turn my perspective off. Then I'm going to go with a move brush and start shaping the head. I always take as a reference what I have here in this part. And I'm gonna go to Subtool and I'm gonna paint a cylinder. And this is gonna be my neck. I'm gonna scale down and scale it up. Scale down and scale it up on the y-axis. I'm gonna go back to my skull over the head. And I'm gonna go with the clay buildup, and I'm gonna take some of the volume here in the back, and I adjust a little bit more my proportions. It's kind of like a goes as an egg shape for the head. I'm gonna paint another sphere. In this case, I'm gonna move it down. I'm gonna press X to activate symmetry, and I'm gonna start chipping into the torso. I'm gonna activate DynaMesh in this case. And I keep trying to get the proper shape, like for the shoulders and the chest. I can build up some volume here, and this is just blocking out there. I'm kind of like just very rough, and try to identify where like my clavicle bone goes. Right there. And in this case, this part I have to kind of like carve out a little bit more this side. And this is very rough. I'm not getting into any details. I just kind of like trying to get like the shapes. Then I'm gonna paint another sphere, and this part is gonna be the breast of the character. Move this way, here, around there, and with the move tool, I'm going to start moving it. I'm not going to worry about the arms because the arms are going to be covered by the shirt. Let's change this to 64 and DynaMesh. Perfect. Have to adjust the chest a little bit. Bring this a little bit inside. Okay, having this part pressed down, I'm gonna go to C plugin, Subtool Master, and I'm gonna mirror it. Press OK. Okay, I already know that there's something going on here that is not looking right, so I'm going to press X. And I should just merge this down. Merge down, okay. Press X and move it like that. Okay, perfect. Take this part. I'm gonna press CPC, the clay buildup, and just gonna carve a little bit of volume in that part. So this is kind of like a stir down bone. kind of like giving that shape there. I'm gonna mark a little bit more the clavicle bone right there. Carve a little bit more of volume in this side as well. Okay, and it's just pretty rough. What I'm doing here is super rough. I'm gonna go to the breast. I'm gonna separate the breast a little bit around there. Perfect. Okay, and now I see that this part of the torso is a little bit too small in comparison with the whole body, so I'm just going to scale it up a little bit. Don't move it like that, because it's going to ruin your symmetry. Now, let's move this. Okay, something like that. Okay, perfect. Now I'm gonna Control D to add subdivisions to it, and I'm gonna merge this down to the body. So merge down, okay, and let's dynamesh this part. Okay. So before I start like softening this up, I should just take a symmetry on, because I didn't have it on at all. I normally start my models with the head, but I don't know why. Like, I just decided this time to start with the torso. Let's press CVC, clay buildup, and we're gonna build like this muscle right here. I'm gonna carve down this part a little bit more. Probably did it too much here, so I have to probably to fill up around there. Let's carve a little bit here as well. Okay. Let's add a little bit of this other muscle that was there and carve a little bit down like that. And I'm kind of like getting into too much details at all. I'm just trying to kind of like get like a good proportion for sure. I'm gonna carve down a little bit this part here. Let's reduce this, the brush size, carve down around there, that area. And this probably goes something like that. Just kind of like to make this transition a little bit smoother. Same here. Have the traps, this muscle right there, which I'm not gonna like fill up a lot. I'm not gonna see it as much because it's gonna be in the back. And for stylized characters like this one, I really like to have like a long neck as well. I think it looks pretty cool. Okay, let's do with the damp standard. Let's go down this part and do it here. Okay, perfect. Now that I have kind of like a really broad torso, I can just move into the head, okay, or the face. So first, what I'm going to do is going to select the face, and then I'm going to paint a sphere. And in the sphere, I'm just going to rotate it like that, pressing Shift 90 degrees so it snaps. I'm going to move it to the side. I'm going to use the knife tool, press Shift Control, knife curve, and then I'm going to cut it another way. Let's too much this way here, and let's cut it this way there. So then I have that part of the ear almost. Let's scale this down. Let's place it where I think the ear is gonna be, around there, and I'm gonna go with the move tool and I'm gonna move it like it's kind of like supposed to be. Let's dynamesh this. Okay, this is too straight, so let's move it like that. Rotate it back, and so a little bit in this side here. Perfect. And let's give some shape to it. So, and I'm just using kind of like a big strokes in this part. And smooth that out. So I have kind of like that kind of like elfish here. I'm gonna go to Z plugin. I'm gonna mirror. I'm gonna make sure that this time they merge into one subtool. So press that and okay. Okay, perfect. So now where I know where my ears are. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna mark where my eyes are gonna be. So pretty much here, let's see. I'm gonna use the pinch brush, and these brushes I just found them at a 3 character workshop. You can download it for free there from channels, and they're super cool. So right there is where my eyeline is gonna be. So let's kind of carve down that. So that's not much. Make this bigger. And I might need some more resolution. Let's go with 64 for now in my dynamesh. Boom. There you go, that's much better. Right there. And I know that this part is gonna be like my how you call my eyebrows, where my eyebrows are gonna be. It's gonna be kind of like almost where the start of the ears start. Okay. Now that I have that, I'm going to go with CVC, clay buildup. I'm just saying CVC, just the shortcuts of my brushes. Pretty much should be the same. I'm gonna carve out kind of like where the eye sockets are around that area, like that. Let's move this part of the mouth a little bit up, and I know the hair cheeks are a little bit kind of like a sucked in. So let's move this in a little bit like that. Perfect. So I know, like I already have like where my mouth is gonna be. I already have the cheekbones. So I'm making a lot of like a, you know, like really with the really small adjustments. I'm getting like a nice shape already with my character. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna dynamesh this once again. Okay, just I like to move around, always like to move around just to make sure that I have the right proportions. Super important that you guys do that. Okay, so that's good. Now I'm going to add the nose. So let's press. There's two options to do it. One, you can just pull it out just like that. And let's bring this part out as well. Kind of like bringing a nose outside. You can see right there. Perfect. And with the clay buildup, just carve out some part this here. Okay, something like that. Let's bring this part of the nose out with a small move brush, like that. Okay, and this is definitely the face is not gonna look great in the beginning. I'm just kind of like, you know, trying shapes. So let's go like this, and I'm blocking out, kind of like a defining where everything is gonna be, where everything is supposed to go. You know, kind of like trying to get like a really good overall like details, no details per se, but kind of like a reference of where the features of our characters are. Okay, perfect. So now that that's ready, I can go append, and I'm gonna paint the eyes. So let's do the same. Rotate the eye 90 degrees, pressing shift, scale down, boom, 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 boom. Let's bring it to one side. This character, the eyes are super big, but quite big. And I'm already noticing that the face is a little bit stretched out, more stretched. So it's something that probably I'm gonna need to fix. Let's bring this down a little bit more, around there. Perfect. Okay, I have the eye. Let's go back to the face. And this part, I'm just gonna bring this in a little bit more. Just like that. And a really low resolution that I'm working on. Go to the pinch brush and kind of like, you know, make that differentiation here between the eyebrows and the eye. Okay, I have this side here. I'm gonna move it a little bit more this side, and I'm gonna duplicate it. So let's duplicate. I'm gonna scale it up around there, and now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my knife curve and I'm going to cut it. Boom, right there, almost in the middle. Okay, I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to press D and I'm going to rotate it all the way down, like that. And this one, I'm going to rotate it up a little bit more. Okay, now that I have those two pieces, I'm just going to start making like the shape of the eye. So with the top one, I'm going to grab the move brush and I'm gonna just move it like pretty big, something like that. And this probably goes a little bit higher. It's probably straight like that. And then let's take this one, and this one is gonna go. For a stylized character, I like to always kind of like have like a thick eyelids. Sorry. I think around that area. Sounds good. Perfect. Okay. Okay, now that I have that, I'm just gonna duplicate this. See, plugin, mirror, gonna mirror. Okay. Make sure the X symmetry is on. And let's do with this the same. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm just gonna merge down, boom, the two eyelids, and I'm gonna polygroup these ones just in case I need to go back. So I'm gonna polygroup and I'm gonna auto group. So when I do auto group, there's gonna be two individual groups, both of them. And what I can do is, this is not gonna give me like a good geometry, so I'm just gonna ZRemesher as well now, these two pieces. But in this case, everything was one auto group. I can just go and auto groups again because they're two different pieces of geometry. Okay, turn my poly fill now. Go back to my subtool, see plugin, mirror, and I'm gonna merge into one subtool and mirror those ones there. So right now I have that kind of like face right there. I'm gonna go back into the head. If you don't want to scroll up and down, you can just press N and you can just navigate to any of the subtools there. Okay, and this one, boom. Okay, perfect. And there you go. I'm gonna move the jaw a little bit down like that, give some room to it, and I'm going to start kind of like adding the mouth first. So let's see. Add the mouth here. I'm gonna press BDS for the damp standard, and I'm gonna give this the shape of the mouth. I might need to go with a bigger resolution. I might press like Ctrl D and go with this resolution 128 in this case, because I'm gonna add a little bit of details, not as much, just a little bit. And I'm gonna do the mouth kind of like as a M shape. And I know you guys are gonna see this looks pretty bad. Doesn't look like it should look bad. Trust me, it's gonna look better. Okay. So now I'm gonna curve with the clay buildup. I'm gonna curve out a little bit on this part here. Okay, and I'm gonna smooth it out, and I'm gonna push a little bit this the jawbone or the chin. Put it out a little bit. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to mask. I'm going to change the stroke to lasso. I'm going to mask this part like that. Boom. Okay. And I'm going to move this out. Like that. Okay. So already kind of like having like a ray, getting some shapes in the lips right there. Let's go back to the standard and define a little bit more this part. Up, down, boom. Let's dynamize things a little bit. Okay. To get like a better resolution. And right there. Okay, good. Now that I have this, I can just go with the damp standard as well and kind of create the upper lip that is super sharp like that. Kind of like a really sharp M. And just dynamize that and just smooth it out a little bit. Let's bring this up. And now you guys are seeing that, you know, you're getting kind of like the shape of it. A bit more now. And for the lower eyelid, I just do the same with the BDS and kind of like get this ready like that. Let's mark this a little bit more on this side. Okay. Let's see how our chin is here. We can just probably move it a little bit more here, like that. And always trying to rotate, trying to get like our best shape there. I'm gonna work a little bit in the nose, but I'm not putting like as much details. I just kind of like laying down like the groundwork here of my character. So let's bring this up, just like that. Perfect. And let's start working on the nose. So with the move brush, I'm just gonna do this here with the nose. I'm gonna probably like the damp standard. I'm just gonna go like this around, kind of like defining that part more. Let's smooth this up here. Okay. And I'm gonna bring this outside a little bit more. I'm gonna turn perspective on now. Might as well. I'm gonna bring this side. We get that shape of the nose. Okay, I'm going to bring these lips a little bit side like that. Perfect. And this part is gonna go like right there. And let's bring this like that. Let's bring this the jaw a little bit more pronounced, like that. Okay. Let's go. I'm gonna take this part and I'm gonna bring it inside a little bit more. Perfect. So it's all part of, you know, like working with your proportions there of the character. Okay, so that's kind of like getting there. It's getting there. So now I'm just gonna carve a little bit this part, and let's make the part of the nose here, the nostrils. Now, and if I see the nose has to go a little bit down. So first, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make the nostrils I'm gonna make the nose a little bit pointy in this area. I'm gonna go with the BDS stamp standard, and I'm gonna do the nostrils right here. And just pretty like rough. It's not that, like it's not gonna be like that much detail there. And let's bring this part of the nose a little bit down like that. Let's bring it down like that. Exactly. I'm gonna bring the cheekbones forward a tiny bit. Perfect. And let's bring the nose, this part a little bit more forward, like that. Okay. That's why I always like to kind of like, rotate the whole time, kind of like move around the camera, so I know where I'm going with them all, and I know what proportions are working or which ones are not working at all. Okay, so that's getting good. I'm just gonna dynamesh these once again, and I know it's pretty low res, so it doesn't matter at this point. I'm just gonna add a little bit more of volume here in this part of the eyes, right there. Kind of like go like that. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of volume here in this side of the top of the eyelid. That's good. Let's give that expression that goes kind of like this. That's perfect. Let's move this inside a little bit. Let's bring the eyelids, and I'm just going to want to move the upper eyelid, so I'm just going to mask by polygroup. Gonna be in 100. If you can find that one, go to brush, auto masking, and mask by polygroups. Okay, and now I can just move my upper eyelid. Oops, I have to press X to have my symmetry activated right there. Exactly. That's much better. Now I'm gonna go back to the ears, and I'm gonna start kind of like carving the ears to then kind of like merge everything together like that. So let's carve the ears PCB, and let's carve the side like that. I'm not that good with ears. I actually have like a set of ears. I just find like boring to do them. Let's dynamesh this. Oh, first things first, let's make sure that you guys have symmetry on. And let's carve this part, carve out. Boom. Right there. Make sure that nothing is going out there. Let's dynamesh this, smooth that out. Boom. Okay, something like that. I'm just gonna use the time standard, just kind of like to go really to this kind of like details here, and the clay build up, just to build a little bit this part of the ear. As I say, ears and hands are not my strong, but sometimes you have just to do it. And I'll go back to my face, select the face, PCB, and I'm gonna carve out or carve in right this part there of the ears. Let's kind of take this one, smooth it out. Let's inflate. You can use the regular inflate that comes with Zbrush as well. And I'm gonna move this inside like that. Okay, perfect. That's looking quite good, I think. It's not that bad. Now I can just dynamesh this too. So let's bring the ears up. Boom. With this one, select your head and dynamesh. And let's see. Dynamesh, where are you? Oh, sorry. Merge down first. Let's go, merge down, okay. And go to geometry, and I have it here, DynaMesh. I'm just gonna DynaMesh just like that. Yep. I'm just gonna smooth this out a little bit more. Oh, but this is the problem that I had. I had a max 5 polygroups. That's why it's not working properly here. Oh, I'm gonna max 5 polygroups, and then I'm gonna merge so this can have a better right there. Perfect. Okay, so this is kind of like going, it's going there, it's going there. It's gonna like move this part, not that part, pretty much this part here, the cheekbones, more pronounced, right there. I like that part better. Okay, and I think this is looking quite good there. And I'm not getting into details, too many details. I'm just marking stuff. It's super important that you guys just mark stuff. Like, you know, I just know where the lips are gonna be. I know where the nose is gonna be, and so on. Okay, so I have this part of the nose. I'm just gonna bring it in higher a little bit, and this a little bit higher as well. Kind of like that. Not that much, that's too much probably. Let's bring this in. Around there. At this point, I'm just probably gonna pinch this part here, so I just want to give it more like a definition for that part of the nose. Even though I'm not doing any details yet, but I want that definition right there. And let's add a little bit of volume right here. See. With the clay buildup, it's gonna add some volume right here underneath the lips right there. And smooth, really smooth right there. And let's bring some volume here as well. And this stuff, once I get into more details, I'm gonna see like a better result once I kind of like once I ZRemesh the face. Perfect. There you go. Now I think I'm ready to get and have the eyelids in. So go up. Take this one. I'm gonna take this. I think that's good enough. Take the head. I'm gonna merge down. Okay. And then I'm gonna DynaMesh this. Did I DynaMesh? Did I? Oh, I took the wrong one. So let's split two similar parts. Let's bring the proper one that are the eyelids. Then select the head and merge down. Press OK. Perfect. Now that I have this, I'm just gonna DynaMesh. That's much better. But in this case, I'm just gonna kind of like press D, and I'm gonna DynaMesh with a bigger resolution, so I don't lose this part here. So I'm just gonna go like 512, and let's see, DynaMesh, and that's much better. I don't want to lose this sharp edge right there. I can just go with my Tam standard. I use my lazy mouse, lazy radius, probably around 20, and I can just go like this and mark it down, mark it. And right there. Okay, I think this is looking good. And now, what I'm going to do, I think I just kind of like want to bring the nose a little bit, the outside like that. Want to bring them out closer, and always they're always like something that you have to adjust, you know. there's never like oh, you get a perfect direction the first time. No, you're always gonna be adjusting stuff. Let's bring it like that. Perfect. I think that looks good. And something that I might do is kind of like try to blend these two a little bit more. And let's get, oops, that's too much around there. I might need to get the lazy mouse off because that was too much right there. That's much better. Yes, perfect. And let's bring this like that. Okay, it's kind of like do this here, like that. Okay, so I have this, and this part is kind of like not good, so I'm gonna carve it out right here a little bit more. Okay, something like that. Let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, I think that's much better. That's much better. Okay, so I'm happy with what I have right now. I don't care about the ears as much, so I think it's time for me to ZRemesh. So to ZRemesh, I'm gonna go to my brushes, and I'm gonna go to ZRemesher guides. Is it guides? Yes, it's guides. Okay, so I'm gonna add some guides for me to ZRemesh this part. So I'm ready to ZRemesh. So I'm gonna use the ZRemesher guides, and the first one that I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make this curve right here. I'm just gonna decrease the size of my stroke, and I'm just gonna go right there into the middle. Perfect. It's kind of like a mask. And then the other one that I'm going to do is gonna be here from the top of the bridge of the nose. I'm going to go down. I'm gonna go up. So I didn't like that, so this part, so I'm just gonna press Alt and remove that guide there. And I'm gonna move this one, keep writing right there. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm ready for the other one that goes in there, the top of the upper eyelid. So I'm just gonna get the upper eyelid. Just gonna get this way, and that one, it will go right to the middle of the ear. Perfect. Right there. Okay. Now I have this one that goes from the nose, go open, and this one goes this part, kind of like in the middle, like below the lower lip. Then let's take this one like that, and this is the lip right there. I didn't like it as much, so let's go like this. Perfect. And then I'm gonna take this one, go right here, and this is the same one. It's gonna go kind of like right in the middle, right there. Okay, so the next one is gonna be part of the jaw, the chin, going up. But you see what happened there is because I have in a different view, so I'm just gonna go back. Just go right there and up. Perfect. I'm gonna grab from there, I'm gonna go up like this, and make sure you just go down right there. Perfect. And I'm happy with this part here, so I'm just gonna go to ZRemesher, target polygons 5, and let's see what result we get. So let's ZRemesh that. Gonna take a while. Let's wait until this is done. Gonna pause the video for a second. Okay, so it's done. We have our ZRemesher, and it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. Like it's quite good enough to start kind of like, you know, like to start to keep our sculpting from this. This is much better than having just Dynamesh. And the one thing that I'm gonna do is just gonna keep the head and the body separate, so I can just pose it or whatever, because I'm not gonna see the connection at all. It's gonna be covered on here. Okay, so let's turn off the polyframe and let's start kind of like working on some details there. I'm gonna press Ctrl D a couple of times, probably 3 times, and let's start working with BDS. And I'm gonna work with the highlight here. It's probably too much. A lazy mouse. I need the lazy mouse for this case here. Okay. Right there. Then I'm gonna take the pinch brush. I'm gonna pinch this part here. Perfect. And the same here. Pinch this and pinch there. Kind of like detailing a little bit that part of the eye. Right there. Okay, let's take the pinch again and let's pinch this part of the right there, probably a little bit up like that. And I'm gonna be SQ to polish this part here. I want this part kind of like have super flat. Not super flat, but a little bit flatter than what I have already right there. Right there, perfect. Cool. Now I'm gonna work on the nose, BDS, and let's do these curves. Sometimes I have a hard time with the noses, but I think this one is gonna be a little bit easier. I think that's good. And let's curve this down here. Let's curve in, sorry, for the nose. I'm gonna go with the clay buildup, and I'm gonna make that little hole that is in the upper lip right there. Okay. I'm gonna take my time standard and I'm gonna go here, go down like this probably. I think probably it's too much, it's a little bit too much. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, maybe yes. So a little bit smaller. And not as much pressure putting in there in your stroke. Let's go here with that M. That's a sharp M right there. Let's go down a little bit. That's perfect. It's much better. Let's see how's that looking. I'm gonna use the move tool to bring this up, bring this down, kind of like that. Okay. Let's bring this like that. This part front. And I'm gonna smooth this out a little bit. I might go back again. I can like sharpen this again, just a little bit. Okay, and now I can add a little bit more of definition of the lower lip right here. Okay, and I might need some volume, so I'm gonna use the fill, or you can use the BST. You can use the clay buildup as well, just a little bit, just to build some volume here. Okay, now I can get the down standard and maybe the pinch brush, and then I smooth out, kind of like going like a curve like that. And I think I'm gonna move this up a little bit. And let's move this like that. Okay, I'm gonna give a little bit of definition of that nose, so BSQ with the polish, and I like to kind of like give this kind of like separation right here in the nose. Not separation, but kind of like that. this, and let's move the nose. Let's see. Okay. Again, I think this is looking pretty good. Pretty good. I might kind of like bring this down a little bit, these lower eyelids. Kind of like to make a little bit like sad, like droopy eyes. Kind of, I don't know, it has kind of like a sad expression. Right there. And let's bring this down a little bit like that. And kind of like this. Perfect. I'm gonna start adding a little bit of hair in it, but I just gonna kind of like just go with the flow here. So I'm gonna paint a sphere, and in this sphere I'm just kind of like move it out. Yes, press X for symmetry and start moving this thing out. Symmetrical, very symmetrical, right there. And this is gonna kind of like go in the middle. I can just probably Dynamesh. Let's Dynamesh this sphere. Boom, Dynamesh. And CBDS, time standard. And I just kind of like see where I want to know, like where the middle of the head is, of the hair, sorry. And let's start moving like that, more like this. Boom. In this case, I can just go transparent, and I just kind of like shape, like follow the same shape of the hair right there. Perfect. And I can just move this like that. Let's turn off transparent. Let's move this out. Let's Dynamesh this. And once you add like a head and you add eyebrows, like everything started like looking like way better. Way better. Okay. So let's bring this in like that, right there. And I'm just kind of like exploring a little bit, even though like I don't know if I'm not following as much kind of like the design at this point. Sometimes I just like to, you know, like go with whatever I have instead of following the design. But I just do it when I kind of like I do exercises like this without having to think about the design. You really have to match or not, or what. So okay, so I think this is kind of like looking good right there. Boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna make it closer, and let's bring it up. This area right there. Let's bring it down, because this is boom, boom. Okay, something like that. Probably gonna end up. I think that cut that I did was super pronounced. So that's something that's throwing me off right there. That's much better. I'm gonna add like a piece of hair right there. So I'm just gonna get a paint. I'm gonna paint polysphere. I'm gonna go. Make sure that you're selecting your polysphere right there. Scale it up, scale it down, scale it up like that, scale it right there. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm gonna scale it. Let's scale it this way on X as well. And I'm gonna go with this with the gear bend curve, and I really have the orientation. So if I want the orientation, is with this one, the axis. Change the axis. Boom, boom, and this one's the resolution. So I'm just gonna give it. That's probably around there. I don't need too much resolution, so now I can just grab these points and move it as like, you know, like whatever I want, which is super cool. I really love using the bend curve when I'm doing kind of like hair. Let's move it out. Like this part, I can just grab this point and I can scale it. Look, we'll scale it up. But in this case, I'm just gonna leave it like that. I'm just kind of like move this one like that, gonna go here, and then with this one it's gonna go all the way down, like behind the shoulder kind of thing. Let's scale this one down a little bit, and this one is alright like that. Perfect. I kind of like this is pretty rough of what I want for that shape, so I'm just gonna go press W, get the gear, and accept that transformation. I'm gonna go with my move tool, and I'm just gonna start moving this part. Let's do this like that, kind of like more in this area like this. I think that's probably a bit better in this part. Okay, and let's see, because I don't like this part, I can just go here up and go here down, but this is gonna be more down like that. And this is gonna cover the eye a little bit. So let's make it cover part of the eye. So I can just go like that with a pinch brush, I guess. I'm just gonna make that a little bit sharper and cover this. Okay, that's good. I can just subdivide this a little bit, boom, right there, and DynaMesh. Press no, and there you go. I like this piece. I probably, before I start adding some details, I think I'm going to use kind of like not to use to ZRemesh and then add the details to it. Okay, yes, Q. Oh, what did I do here? BSQ. There you go. I'm gonna polish this part here. Like, go like this. Polish this part, and I'm gonna polish this part as well. Like this. And let's polish this part as well. So I kind of like create those sharp cuts. Not as sharp, but still they're sharp with the polish. And let's move this a little bit like that. Right there. So now I'm going to add the shirt. I know I should have probably kept going with the head, but I'm gonna add the shirt first. So I'm gonna paint another sphere 3D. Just move it down. Make sure that you have it selected. Move it down, press X for symmetry. And just kind of like give it like a rough shape. Increase your size of your brush. And let's see. Kind of like I go really rough, because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mask it, and then I'm going to extract this part. So let's see, I have this part like that, and then I'm kind of like where the arms go, and this is supposed to go like that, and this part is supposed to go a little bit like that. I'm just gonna press X with the symmetry, and let's DynaMesh this so we get like a weird stuff like this. I don't need it like that perfect, because this is just blocking out this part. So let's get as close as I can. Sorry, from the skin right there, and definitely this goes way closer here. Like that. doesn't matter if it doesn't look that good, this, because this is just to get that, as I mentioned, the shirt kind of like in a proper way. Okay, I think this is something alright, something like that. Let's see, I'm gonna use transparency. I'm kind of like trying to match this as much as I can in here as well. And I think that's good for now. I'm gonna smooth this out. Let's polish this part. PSQ to polish, and I'm just gonna polish this just to make it flat, you know. Okay. I can probably like work from here, or I can probably just I think something that I'm going to do is mask this part. So let's mask this like this. Boom. Let's mask this part like that. Boom. Let's mask this part here. Let's mask this here. And let's see what we have in the bottom. Let's unmask this like that. Okay, and this is pretty much what I need to wrap everything around. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to extract. I'm gonna take the thickness down to 0 and extract this close there and accept. Okay, I'm gonna hide my original one in case I need it. So this is pretty much what I have for the clothes there. Okay, now that I have, I'm just gonna ZRemesher really low, 0.1. Let's see what I get. Let's take a while and let's wait for it. Just gonna pause the video in the meantime. Okay, perfect. So this is what we have now for the ZRemesher. So I want to see what is going on inside. So for that, I'm gonna go to visibility and oh no, sorry, display properties, and I'm gonna go double so I can see what is inside. Now that I have that, I can just pretty much start moving this and give it a better shape like that. This smaller, and let's move this one here. Let's move this. Probably goes like that. And something that I should do, I kind of like want to get half of it and make a polygroup of it. I don't care about the back, just the front. So, because something that I can do is just mask by polygroups right here, and I can pretty much move this in front of it. Something like that. Let's bring this down. And let's take this out a little bit, this part. And let's see what I have. Let's turn off the hair so I can just take this out. Let's move this here. And that's kind of like much better. Either that part, I think so. And I can do another ZRemesher. But this time I want to keep the polygroups. So let's do geometry, ZRemesher, and keep polygroups and do it again. with a poly count of 0.1. Okay, let's move it. Let's move this one. Let's move this like that. I think something like this might work. Let's do 0.5 and see what we get. Probably we get better. It's taking too much of it. So, yeah. Let's do it like that, man. Instead, this is gonna be better. Let's bring this inside, this outside like that. Okay. Something like that. Okay. And sometimes I do kind of like a bunch of ZRemeshers to see what I get. Let's go 0.1 again and see if it keeps some of the structure. That's much better. That's kind of like what I want from that shape to go like that. Okay, let's fix this back here. Let's move this a little bit like that. And this part, I'm just gonna bring it inside and this outside, like this. And let's go this like this. Okay, I think that's what I want. Something like that. Okay. Perfect. So now that I have, I can give some thickness to it. So let's do this. I'm gonna press BZM to see model and extrude out, not like that. Press space bar, go extrude and all polygroups, and there you go. Boom. And we have a really nice one. So let's add some bevels, 2 rows right here in the edges. Oops, wrong one. Right there, perfect. Okay, and then I can start subdividing. Let's take this off, subdivide a little bit more, and let's make this part of the cloth. There, make sure that your mask by polygloss is off, is by 0. Now you're gonna have that problem like that. Okay. Okay. Make this sharper right here. Okay. There you go. Now I'm gonna use probably like a, let's see, this curve. I don't use this one as much. That might work, but what I'm going to do, I'm gonna backface mask. You can find it in Zbrush, auto masking and backface mask. So let's use that. Let's see. That's alright. Can just move it out a little bit. But that's the problem. I don't want this to go right inside there. So I might have to probably not do it as much. Let's see. One like here. One like that. There. And go this part like that. Really rough. Let's grab this part and just move it like that. pretty. This kind of like very rough. Very rough. Let's do a backface mask. Let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Side. That's too much. A little bit. That is passing to the other side. I'm gonna add kind of like some folds with the clay buildup, but I'm not gonna use this as sharp, so I'm gonna get a different alpha. Let's get something smoother, probably like something like alpha, let's say alpha 37 maybe. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of geometry right there, and this is the problem there that I'm having. So what I'm going to do, I'm gonna backface mask again, and I'm gonna add something like this, like that. Yeah, right there as well. It's better, kind of like to add some geometry or add some topology in there than actually carve in there, because those two faces are getting the best out of that for me. Something that I can do is just kind of like delete the one underneath. I might do that, but let's see. And let's do that again. And let's see what can I do here. See? I'll just take this off. Something like this. Oops, one more. Okay, that's it for that. And let's make sure that we go this way like this. And you see, this is the problem. So probably what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna press Ctrl Shift, select, get this part and delete hidden. So let's go and delete hidden. Geometry, modify topology, and delete hidden. And switch to the lowest one. So to go to the lowest one, delete hidden. There you go. Let's go up. And still keeping the details what I have to leave here and there. Okay, so now I don't have to worry if the codes are crashing or so on. So let's add this one here. Like that. Goes in the back I don't care as much. Okay, it's gonna, oof, that's a lot of subdivisions that I have here. Let's delete higher. Perfect. Okay, let's smooth this out. It's good. It's good. Okay. Probably this part goes around here. And I'm just going like a super rough right there just to get, get the shapes. And let's see what can I do here. Let's move this part, this in, and let's move this part inside more, and let's take this out a little bit, right there. Okay, let's bring this in, and this one, let's bring it out like that. And let's keep working in that part of this. I'm trying to, like, if I will have, I don't want you guys to go through a 4-hour tutorial on YouTube, but I think this will help a lot. Just having it like that. Let's do this one. And let's do that over here. Let's do this one here as well. And let's see how my topology is divide it because I find that I don't have much details here in this zone. So let's see. Yeah, I'm missing a lot of topology. So something that I can do here, I just can go BCM and add some insert loops here. So let's insert some loops. What I'm going to do is going to go to press spacebar, insert single loop, and let's see. It doesn't let me. Multiple subdivision levels. I might have to tell it higher and just kind of like do that part again here and add those details, because right now those details are not. I'm not having as many details as I wanted, and I don't want to subdivide when my geometry is not really like more cohesive, because there's some places that I have more and there's some places that is not as dense, I would say. Okay, I think this is good to start. So let's go back. And sorry about that, guys. So let's turn this off. 4 and 5. Let's see. Now I can just add those folds and stuff. So let's see. Over here. And these are already looking much better because the geometry is more, it's better spaced. Right there. Let's have one small here, and another one small there, right there. And just wait for the quick save. Okay, something that I can do is get this max disk. Max that and move this a little bit like this. I like to go a little bit over. Right there. And I have that fold. Okay. And I can do the same here as well. Let's mask this a little bit better. Boom, right there. Let's move this one here like that. Yeah, something like that, much better. Yeah, I'm liking it that much better. So sometimes that's what it happens, you know, like you have to kind of like go back and to the drawing board and say, this is not working, I'm just gonna do it in a different way, and probably the last way that you're doing it is much better. Okay, I'm just gonna go with the pinch brush and just pinch a little bit like this part. Oops. Wait. Okay, so that's much better right there. And let's do almost the same with this part here. So let's go with the cloth and let's bring this. Let's bring this out a little bit like that. Put this in. And let's mask this part over here. And let's move this like this. Move it out. And move it in. I like doing that color kind of thing. Not a color, but kind of. Okay, and I don't care about the back. And let's smooth this out a little bit. Okay. And let's move this like this. Okay. And definitely that's much better. That's much better. Okay. That's cool. So now that I have that part, I can definitely extrude it out. But I probably need to delete the resolution, but I have to see that part. I'm not that sure what can I do here, but okay, let's move on. Let's go with the other side of the hair. So let's press N, and where did you go? Side of the hair, and I'm going to bring. There's a couple of ways to do that side there. There is one that is coming from the back. So let's take the back, it's DynaMesh. So I can just pull it as much as I want. So let's get rid of the symmetry. Let's bring it like that, because you can still DynaMesh this. Not like that. You can DynaMesh this as much as you can. Right there, look. Boom. And still give it that shape right there. So let's say I have this going out, this going out, this going in, this going out, and then this kind of like goes a little bit straight and it goes like that. Perfect. Okay, and you can take the snake hook, which is right there. Okay, I don't need the sculptures right now, but I can take this and kind of like put it like that. DynaMesh and something like this. And this probably is gonna go right there, and I'm gonna bring another one here from the bottom up. In this case, here I can just inflate this part, inflate and move. Okay, and let's see, and I can do the other strand either as I did with this one. Probably that's the best way to do it. So let's add a paint. Let's append another sphere, and let's go to my new sphere. Let's move this to the side, scale it up, scale it down, scale it on X, scale it up, and let's do the same that I did with the other one. Here, cool, perfect. Let's go here, boom, the gizmo, gear, pen curve, and start moving that curve right there. Let's put it here, let's move this up, let's bring it this way. Okay, this is gonna go right here, this one's gonna go there, and this one is gonna go around there, so it's gonna kind of like that. Might need to use kind of like the same snake hook right there, just to fix that part. Let's take this and scale it down, boom, 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 right there, and bring this up like that. And I kind of like not liking that much, but I can just fix that. So let's fix it. Let's take this up and put this down. Perfect. Okay, let's take the gizmo pen curve and accept. So let's say I'm happy with this curve, even though I'm not. Okay, so let's take it like that. I can just DynaMesh this. Boom, there you go. Let's move this guy like this, right there, and let's kind of like move this down, move this up, or down. I kind of like try to give that shape. I'm not sure if I'm giving it properly, but worth to try. Let's see. In this case, like I didn't like that I move it like that, so I'm just gonna grab this like bigger stroke and just move it that way. Now that's looking much better. Okay, and this is kind of like, this is like a very, like a quick tutorial. Maybe with more time I can just kind of like try to create those hairs better, but you know, I think this is good for now. And something that I want to fix, it is going to be the face. So let's go to N to apply this. Let's go to the pinch brush. Let's scroll, take this and put the stroke a little bit lower, and let's make this a little bit lower like that. Boom. Okay, I want to have like a bigger lower eyelid. I want to get the feel, and I'm gonna fill this part so I get like those droopy nice eyes right there. Perfect. That's something that I really like there. Okay, and now something that I can do that I'm missing, actually is missing, are the eyebrows. So let's paint the eyebrows. I can just go with the max tool, something like that. Oof, I don't like that. Right there. Okay, and make sure that nothing is selected in the back, so I'm just gonna go solo. Let's take this, go back, and if you press Ctrl Shift and inside click, you're gonna sharpen the mask. Okay, so then I'm going to extract it just like that. Let's see, 0.02. That's good. Extract. I don't care as much. So let's ZRemesh this to 0.1. And let's wait for the progress. I'm gonna stop the video for a second. Okay. So I kind of like made a mistake right there. I didn't set extraction, so that's why I was taking so long. Now I can just go to 0.5 and ZRemesh that. And that's gonna be super fast. Let's see what I have. That's pretty dense, so let's go to 0.1, ZRemesh, and let's see what we get here. Okay, well, that's much better. I can just smooth this out like that and bring this down. Oh, no. And let's bring this a little bit down like this and bring it out. And if you find that you don't have enough volume, just kind of like a little inflate. It will help. Right there. Perfect. Last but not least, we can just do something to the eyes. I'm not that good at making the eyes, but might as well try something different. I can just, I'm just gonna duplicate them just in case. Turn this one off. And I can just Control D and Dynamesh these guys like that. Oof, that's too much. Not too much, too little. So let's go with 512 and Dynamesh this. Perfect. And then I can just grab the BSQ. Oh, okay, BSQ. And I can just kind of like flatten this part of the eyes here. Like that. And now I can just PCB, clay build up, and I can just the iris right there. And that's cool. I can move this a little bit more. Let's go to the center. Let's move these eyes a little bit more like that. seems like they're not looking at nowhere. Bring them a little bit bigger, tiny bit bigger, and there you go. Right there. That's much better. Let's go to here, and let's kind of like smooth this out because I like some choppy things. Right there. Perfect. And there you go. So the other thing that I will need to do is the pose, but I can show you guys next time like how to do the pose and the other strands of the hair. But this is pretty much my sculpting process for a stylized character. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's very long, but you know, if you really like it, please subscribe, share. If you want to get into stylized character, just contact me and let me know. Okay guys, so take care and have an amazing weekend. Take care and see you next time. Bye.